Being a profitable agent, what does it mean and how can you go out and do it as a life insurance agent? My name is Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Lead Lab. In the past 3.5 years, we've helped 550 agents issue pay $40,000 per month. And on this channel, I try to talk about the strategies, tactics, and behaviors of those individuals. Myself, I was an agent who's writing $25,000 to $40,000 a month. And I want to break down the strategies that you can go out and implement, whether you're an individual agent or an agency owner. So as always, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's hop right into the video. So today, I want to touch on a topic that is, what does being a profitable agent actually mean? All right. So I hear this all the time, and profitability is really determined on, in my opinion, two things. Okay. All right. Number one is time profitability. The other one is cash profitability. Now, some people when people think about profitability and margins, especially in life insurance space, they always associate it with this one. And I believe that this is the first one that you need to prioritize. Why? Because most of the people that come in, you don't have a lot of money to put towards leads, marketing, systems, the whole 9 yards. So what you do is you put a lot more money, you put a lot more emphasis on your time. So you become more cash profitable. But that means you prioritize work ethic and time. So what does this actually look like, right? Practically, this looks like buying aged or old leads to improve your skill set. Now, most people will, discredit the age lead process. They're like, oh, yeah, these leads suck, but you need sucky leads to improve your skills. Like, why would you spend money on fresh leads when you don't know what you're doing? I hear it all the time because my team here, we're like, I need better leads. I'm like, brother, look, sister, look, you're saying you need better leads. Cool. But if I give you really good leads and you fumble them, if I give you 20 good leads, right? And just look at the numbers, right? It's all about the numbers. All right. Now, let's say I give you 20 leads. Okay. And let's say that you get 5 people to pick up. Only 5. Okay. And those are 5 people. You have so that means you get 2 real opportunities. Of those 2 real opportunities, let's say that of those 2, you close. Well, not even say close because you're new. There's 2 real opportunities and you have no closes. Because realistically, if you're a new agent and I say real opportunities, I mean like you start getting into the presentation and you fumble it. You get 2 people. Let's just say that you close 1. Okay? Unless that's a banger policy, right? You're a newer agent, you probably have a crazy high comp level. Unless that's a banger policy and you close 1, let's just say that you deposit into your bank account $800. Depending on what kind of leads those are, you may have just broke even. If anything, you probably lost money. So now you're not making any money. So you didn't become profitable. You just basically broke even. You didn't get a lot of reps. You probably don't have a lot of data to go off of. Now let's say you get 200 leads and then you get 40 people to pick up. Okay. You say 50% tell you to kick rocks. Okay. But then you get 20 conversations. And then of those 20 conversations, let's say you get 10 opportunities. And let's say because you're just as bad, you get 5, you can close 5. Okay. Now that same, you're going to deposit 3,500. Now you're probably like, how do I do that? Okay. So I say that of those 20 leads, you get 5 people to pick up. So that's 25% of these. Let's just, matter of fact, make these even better. Let's just say we get 25 people to pick up, say 50, they tell you to kick rocks. So let's say half of 25 divided by 2 is 10, 10, 12. So let's say you have 12 conversations, and of that, you get 6 real opportunities, and then you close 3. This will be a little bit more realistic. My bad. So 8 times 3 is 2,400. Okay? This is what numbers will look like. You get 25 other people to pick up. You have 50% of those people to say to kick rocks, right? And I gave you crazy numbers up here, but I was just being modest. Okay? And then you have 12 conversations. You get 6 real opportunities of the conversations, and then you close half of those. So you get 2,400. This is a bad agent, new agent, whatever. Better agent may get those 12 conversations closed, turn into 8 and then close 4 or 5, right? So maybe 10, close 4 or 5, 10 presentations, booked appointments, whatever. What I'm trying to make here is, sorry, I spelled this wrong. What I'm trying to make here is, it's about the numbers. You are now becoming more cash profitable. Now, time profitability is when you actually, prioritize your skill set and time. Okay. Now, at this point, we're prioritizing our skill set and our time because what we're going to do is we are going to now take those same amounts. So now let's say this person buys 20 leads. They get, because they got better at working the lead to pick up. Still not great, but let's just say they get 8 people to pick up. That leads to 6 presentations. And now they close 3 people. Now they're getting the same amount as this. So they're still putting in their pocket $2,400. So they put in 800 or however much their leads, they pulled out 2,400. Now this person is now prioritizing their time, right? So now they're profitable in their time. Because now theoretically, if they want to make more, they just buy 40 leads and they make more and then they just boom, boom, boom. But that's because their skill set is now caught up. Yes, they only closed 2 more deals. And this is, I'm being gracious here. I don't think this person would close this new agent, right? But now this is where you start prioritizing your time. But you need to understand, what does profitability mean? Yes, you would spend more here and be more profitable for sure, because these 200 leads probably cost way less than these 20 leads. Let's say these 20 leads cost $25 a piece or $20 a piece. That's $400. Let's say these leads cost, well, you could do the same amount. Let's say this is $2 a lead. By 200 leads, $400, right? 20, whatever. You're theoretically like getting, because a better agent would close more than this. Like a better agent would close more. So let's just go through better agent 2, right? So this is going to be for people that are wondering, new agent. Okay. In the real life scenario, this is how we break down things with our clients, because like it's super important for you to know and recognize this, right? And then let's go skilled. I'm not even gonna say seasoned, because it could be an agent that comes in and is relatively skilled. Here. Okay. So that's off the, this is off the fresh. Okay. This is off the page leads. Okay. Now this is off of fresh leads. You'll see what point I'm trying to make here. Now let's do the same thing. So we're going to do the same thing. Nothing changes here. The input doesn't really change. But now let's see. You're going to have more than 25 people pick up. What? Yeah. I'm going to go with 8 here to make it the same across the board. And I'm not going to say, because if you're gonna mess up a bunch. If 8 people pick up, you're going to definitely squander at least 5 of them. So 6 of them. Yeah. And that leaves you with 2. No opportunities, no closes, or you do close, right? Let's go back here. 200 leads. Let's say 25 people pick up. Of those 25, let's say that, 20% tell you to kick rocks. So 25 times 20, 25 times 0.20. Oh, now you have 20% tell you kick rocks. You guys see where I'm going. Now that means you have 20 conversations. That lead to, let's just call it 10 real opportunities. And let's just say you're closing at still 50%. So you're closing, let's say you close 5 people, right? You're still going to be profitable 800, 1600. And in this example, I'm saying that you do this, but I'm not about to explain what I'm talking about here. So yes, you are more profitable here. What is that? 8 times 5 is 35. So you are basically $1,100 more profitable in this option, right? With your skill. But people don't make this trade-off because people don't want to dial old leads all day. Yes, they're more skilled, so they could make more money doing it this way. But there's too many factors that go into it. When you're here as a new agent, you're paying with your time, right? And you need this, right? But when you're skilled, you're going to close a little bit more people, okay? But you're not willing to spend all day dialing. It doesn't take long to call through 20 leads and make these 3 closes. They could do this in a day. This may take a skilled person who's building a team. They don't have time to do this. So this may take 2 days to get through all these leads effectively, right? Your opportunities presentation, you could do this in 1 day. So if I can make $2,400 in 1 day or $3,500 in 2 days, yes, I'm more profitable here. But if I double down on this, I spent more money, but now I've made more, right? It's an exchange. You have to look at profitability as an exchange. It's not as linear as I think we try to make it in this industry, where we're just like, oh yeah, I spent this much, so I should get this much in return. It doesn't work like that, right? So this is a quick little lesson on being profitable as an agent. You need to understand where you're at, right? If you're new, you should go with this option, okay? Go with buying older leads. Prioritize work ethic and time, right? Now, when you're doing time profitability, prioritize your skill set and time, which means that you've now exchanged money for skills. Like, dude, I'll spend more because I have more skills, so I don't need to do this all day. And as I make, I make $1,100 less, but I save myself, 8 hours, and that's worth way more than my time. When you're new, it doesn't matter. You need to know these numbers. Most people just go into it and they stick on the same thing over and over and over again, and they get burnt out. They try to build. You need to have progression. It's about progression. It's about taking you and your team from one step to the next. If you're always doing the same thing over and over again, number one, you start comparing your last month to next month because you don't have any, and if you don't track any data, you don't know. Like, it's funny because, I have clients that will complain, and I always tell them, I'm like, what does your actual data say? And I can only say that because I didn't track data for years. I didn't start tracking data until I met my most recent mentor in October. Didn't track any data. None at all. Barely tracked how much, like, I was tracking how much we were getting paid, obviously, like paying myself, but I had no system for anything to track. So I'm like, I'm kind of willy-nilly in this thing, and I have no idea what direction we're going in. So when things go well, I don't really know why. I'm just kind of like, I feel like this is this and this, and it's a bunch of feeling. There's no data. Data needs to show and guide all direction, all actions, especially in business. It's how you move. So, as always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I hope this was helpful. If you're an individual agent looking to scale, grow, stack, and you want to potentially work with us and get this kind of in-depth for yourself as well, completely free, you can go to leadlabcrm.com. You do have to buy leads. It's one of our prerequisites. We have all the different lead options there. We're coming out with tons of new leads, so be aware. The next thing is, if you're an agency owner and you may consider wanting to partner up with us, it's pretty simple. Go to agentleadlab.com. There's a book to call section. Please don't book that call if you're like not in the financial position to invest in yourself. We do have a 3-step process. It is like dating. We do not just take you on. Doesn't matter what you say, what you do, how much money you have. That's irrelevant. That's about the relationship. So you got to take the steps. If you're interested in doing that, perfect. If not, that's fine too. But just letting you know, if you're an agency owner, we can walk through that. If you're an individual agent, just go to the website. Really no need to book a call, to be honest. They're just leads, guys. It's not really complex. See how they are. It's got a background, pretty straightforward. You can watch a ton of videos, kind of see where we're at, why it works, if it works, how it works, whole 9 yards. So, as always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.